Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday night. It's our special. It's the Bo and Joe Show, our special holiday show. And we're very excited. We're going to allow the fans to come on the show in just a little bit, or some of our viewers. But let me start out by saying happy holidays and welcoming Bo Dean and Adrian to the program. Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
Happy holidays, Joe and Ferris. How you doing?
Great. Happy holidays. I'm doing great. How's everybody else?
We're doing amazing.
We have a lot to talk about tonight, that's for sure.
We have a lot to talk about. But let's start it off. Do you have your adult beverages? We said we were going to be toasting the new year, or not the new year, the holiday season. I'm ready.
Of course, I have my holiday beverage. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, right, so I went a little different. I went off script with the frozen hurricane.
So let's cheers. Happy holidays to everybody out there and to one another. Crispy Bacon, you have your holiday drink in the background there. He's toasting as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got mine.
There you go.
Right,
cheers.
There you go. Cheers.
The whole crew. Cheers.
Hey, did you guys notice that my Christmas lights are blue and white? Did you notice that? How about that? I went all out. Got to stick with the colors. I got to stick with the colors. Remember, my junior high school, Cheney, and Villanova, all school colors, blue and white. How ironic is that?
Well, my high school colors were blue and white, so.
Okay, so you know what it's like. You didn't have to change up colors when you got to Nova. That's right.
Go
baby.
blue, go white,
right.
Go team, fight.
Oh, listen, I don't know. I don't remember my school song. Come on now. Come on. Look at that. He remembers his school song. Look at that.
I thought we might do some caroling. I didn't know we were going to pull out the old alma mater songs. What about some Christmas carols?
No, that just comes from checking out the cheerleaders a little bit while you were timeouts. You know how that is.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't that popular, so I didn't do it. Is that Justin?
Justin, happy holidays.
Hey.
Oh, we're so happy to see you.
What's up, Justin?
Yep. How's it going?
What's up, Justin? Nice to meet you.
The Patriots.
There you go.
We see it. All right.
See it. Nice. Thanks for joining the program, brother. How you doing?
There's lots of COVID situations going on.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that. Yeah. We're gonna cover that a little bit.
So, all right. So let's jump into it.
I'm doing good.
Start with that?
Yeah, let's start with that. Why not? NHL. Pulling their players from participating in the Beijing, China Winter Olympics, and I think that's a good thing. Because from what I heard, China's rules on their protocols are if a U.S. hockey player, any hockey player, or any player, anybody participating in the Winter Olympics catches, the virus, they are on lockdown for a minimum of 2 to 5 weeks. Now, come on. You can't be stuck in a room for 2 to 5 weeks without contact with anyone. That's pretty crazy, right? And you're in a communist country, so you got to follow their rules. So the Players Association and the league got together and made the decision, we're not going. And I wouldn't go either.
I wouldn't go either.
That's crazy.
And not only do you have to follow the rules, if you break the rules or get accused of breaking the rules, you can find yourself in prison. Yeah. Right.
Right.
So,
And don't forget, this is after the NHL shut down themselves because they have a little break with Christmas, and what they did was they shut everything down leading up to that break because the COVID outbreak was so big that I think it was last night. I forget who was playing. I think the Vegas Knights were playing. The last night was the last game in the NHL until after that break to try to settle it down and kind of try to come back together and get people healthy again.
Yeah, it was the Vegas Knights. Yeah,
it was. Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you think about the COVID situation, Justin? What are your thoughts?
it was overdue. Like I think the other sports leagues should do the same
Agreed.
because the NBA is not doing it. They just want the money for the Christmas games, I think.
Well, yeah, they're definitely not going to shut it down. I mean, Christmas is their biggest day of professional basketball. And you have to look at it another way too. The NFL and the NBA, much more high profile than the NHL, bigger money makers. So, and money really matters to both of them. You hear all the time how they talk about it's all about the dollar when it comes to the NFL. So they're going to do everything they can to not shut it down. Like they moved games this past week. We have a full week of football pretty much except for tonight based on games that they had to move from Saturday.
I think the NFLPA fought for the games. Like the NFL wanted to cancel, and the NFLPA wanted it to still come play the games.
Well,
Like they fought for the games to be played.
Well, that's good. So
And that's-
I'm going to say they probably gave a break on Wednesday night, knowing the Bo and Joe show holiday show was going to be on. So thank you, NFL. We appreciate that.
But some social media stars don't want they want the leagues to cancel because of COVID and so on.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is that we're in a different place this Christmas than we were last Christmas. Last Christmas, we were waiting on the vaccine to come out and be, distributed, right? So there was light at the end of the tunnel. Right now, we still have 200, maybe upwards of 230 million people that have gotten at least one shot in their arm. So there's a difference. And
Cole Beasley hasn't got one.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're going to have those outliers. You're going to have one or two guys or one or two players who just, they're going to fight City Hall.
Yeah.
And what they're going to learn is you can't fight City Hall. City Hall is going to win every time. Right. So, yeah. So, but we're in a different place. Right. And we know more about the virus, how you catch it, how many days it takes for the symptoms to actually show. We just got Pfizer come out with the pill today, right? So
Right.
We're in a different place. So we should not be shutting down at all.
And the booster shot too.
Right. We got all of that. We have all these remedies, these resources and remedies. There's no need to shut down anything. We just have to figure out how to navigate,
The system,
where we are right now. Absolutely. No doubt.
All right. So before we go anywhere, I want to say good evening, everyone. Joseph Sanders tuning in. So thanks for joining. If you want to hop on camera, just click that link. I know you're not necessarily technologically savvy, Mr. Sanders, but if you want to hop on, you're certainly welcome to. And you can join us live. That would be exciting.
Maybe my sister's there with him to help him out. I have no idea. But hey, he might be better than I think he is. What's up, Pops?
Joe, didn't you share that link? Where did you share that link?
Well, we shared, I don't know, do we share it on Facebook, Chris, or it's in our comment section? It's pinned to the top of the comment section.
Yeah, it's in the comments pin.
But we can share it on, can we share it on Facebook too, Chris, while we're on, or?
Yeah, it's on. I can make a post of it.
Okay, great.
but it's in the comments in the video.
Right. So if anybody sees our comments, it's the top comment. You just click on the link. All right. So let's talk about Tiger. So that was an exciting, right? That was an exciting weekend. Tiger and his son Charlie. He's a little cutie pie. He's going to be charming the ladies, I'm sure, in the next. Well, maybe now. How old is he? 12.
12.
Yeah.
He looks like his mom. I don't think he looks as much like Tiger. I think he looks more
And
like
there
his
was-
mom. What do you think?
And there was an
Yeah,
11-year-old playing in the tournament.
11-year-old too.
Yes.
And Gary Player, 86 years old or something. He was playing in it.
Yeah,
Probably
I
his
forget who the
grandson.
pro golfer was, but yeah, his son
Yeah.
was 11 years old, and he's the youngest ever. Obviously,
But, Gary
Charlie was
Player-
the youngest last year. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was an 11-year-old playing.
And
as
John
well.
Daly won, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his son can play.
Oh yeah.
All he does is smoke on the golf course.
Yeah, he does for sure. So Mr. Sanders is declining. He's good.
Okay.
Because I
Well,
saw
then-
him on the 18th hole. He was smoking a cigarette.
Who was?
Oh,
John
John Daly. They showed it up close and personal.
Well, John Daly has always been that rebel with a cause as it relates to golf. You know what I mean? He's that guy. He's that guy that just he's the one that doesn't I shouldn't say he doesn't fit on the tour because obviously he's a champion, but he's the outlier. You know, his way of living really impacted his ability to continue to compete on the PGA Tour as time went by.
Oh no.
His
doubt.
story's legendary too. 1991. Like he wasn't supposed to be picked for that tournament.
Oh no. John Daly is no doubt a rebel, but
Because he wasn't supposed to be picked for that tournament, like 1991
What was that? You talking about the
PGA
Ryder
or something.
Cup? The Ryder Cup?
Ryder
PGA.
Cup.
Yeah. 1991 is going back too far for me.
We weren't even born yet, Justin. 1991.
But in the LPGA star met Tiger.
Yeah.
That was her idol or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a good. That was a nice little introduction. Yeah.
And people were joking on Twitter about because he has a lot of wives and stuff.
Oh, who was that?
Who has a
Tiger.
lot of wives?
No, I mean like the Tiger thing about because a lot of girlfriends, Lindsey Vonn, the other thing.
Yeah, I don't worry about that.
Scandal. Yeah. That was a
Yeah, I
long
don't
time
worry
ago. I think we
Yeah.
got to move. We have to forgive people and move on. I mean,
Because
and
people
we-
were saying that.
yeah,
touch-
it's not even our place to forgive him. He didn't do anything to us, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was between him and his wife.
But people were
yeah.
saying that like when he was going near.
Oh, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, that's where Twitter, it doesn't get paid much attention to.
Let's stay.
At least in my book.
Let's stay in our lane. So let's keep it up. How about let's talk about Urban Meyer getting fired after we called it on our show last week.
Yeah, what was it? A full 6 hours max?
No.
After our show?
No,
It wasn't even 6 hours. I mean, it was that night.
Justin was in his car, in a family car, driving down 95, and he hit me with a text, and it had to be, I don't know, 12:30, 1:30, between 12:30 and 1:30, Justin, when he
Mhm.
hit me with the breaking news. So
Yeah,
it was like 2 or 3 hours after.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
So I think who's not on tonight? George. George said he wasn't going anywhere. George didn't tune in tonight yet, but yeah, when we said he
Yeah,
was.
I've been waiting for George.
I thought Urban Meyer's not suing. I think
Well-
he can
He
still
does.
sue.
Yeah,
Like-
but
And
it's a waste of time.
So Mr. Sanders is saying at 1 a.m. Brandon is here. Merry Christmas. Joe and her elves in shining armor. Brandon, hop on and join the show. We're live. We are streaming. The link is right up in the top. Mr. Sanders declined, but yeah, we'd love to have you on.
Who should be the next Jags coach? You think?
Well, you got
Yeah.
Byron Leftwich, who was the quarterback in Jacksonville when they had a really decent team, and he's won a Super Bowl. You've got the assistant coach, offensive coordinator in Kansas City.
Josh
his name?
McDaniels.
No. What's his name?
Oh,
Kansas City Chiefs. He was a running back. Eric Bieniemy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eric Bieniemy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you want to give those guys an opportunity to interview and see what happens. Yeah, right.
Well, I'll say this.
Thanks, Brandon.
The fact
Brandon
that
is
Trevor
number one
Lawrence
pick right
is
now.
there makes it something that somebody's going to want. If the way the Jags have been over these past few years, if Trevor Lawrence isn't there, I could see coaches turning that job down if
Hold
Trevor
on.
Lawrence isn't the quarterback.
Hold on. That's my roommate. Big Country's tuning in. Big Country, you better get on this program. Come on, Big Country.
Right, so I don't know
Joe.
if you know. I don't know if you know how.
That's Big Country.
Our Big Country, just click on the link at the top of the comment section and hop on camera with us. We'd love to meet you. See Bodine's roommate. Maybe you could give him a little bit of ribbing. We'd love to see that. I don't want to have to do all the work tonight. Somebody else hop on.
Yeah,
So
so I mean, the bottom line is the next coach has to be able to relate to the players, right? And what a lot of people, sideline fans, just don't realize.
Oh, I know one of the coaches on the Jags. My mom teaches with his son.
Okay.
Mother.
That's pretty cool.
What people don't realize is that coaching in Jacksonville or coaching in a state of Florida, when there's so much to do, you got to
Partying.
fill the seats, right? And
There's
if you
drinking.
can't, right, you got to fill the seats. People can go to the beach, they can cook out in their backyard and have their, a big TV in the backyard and watch the games. You've got to attract a coach there that's going
I think beer should
want
be free
people-
in games, probably.
Say that again, Justin.
Is beer free probably in the games?
Oh, yeah.
So the fans?
Oh, they have a pool in the stadium. Are you kidding me? There's a swimming pool they call it a jacuzzi. But
Mhm.
the point is, you got to get a coach who the players can relate to, understands the market, right? And get people to get in those seats and win. And Byron Leftwich, to me, as a former quarterback, an offensive coordinator, won the Super Bowl last year with Tom Brady as a quarterback. To me, he's in a better position than Bieniemy or Justin, the guy you mentioned in New England,
McDaniels, yeah.
McDaniels, right? He's in a better position based on the
I can see him
entire
taking
picture.
the Bears job.
Well, McDaniels has had
see him taking the Bears
opportunities
job.
to go several places. McDaniels is comfortable right where he is.
Oh,
he's
not-
not.
yeah.
He's not going
I
anywhere.
don't think he's
He
going
might go to the
Especially-
Bears, probably.
He's definitely not going to the Jags, and I don't see him going to the Bears either.
Yeah, I think he's
he's
comfortable.
just too comfortable.
I think he understands some guys are too young to command respect from the players. It's hard, right? We don't talk, they don't talk about this on TV, but it's hard, right? When you're talking about grown men, right, being coached by a younger guy, you have to have a certain personality to do that. And I think the coach in Vegas, not Vegas, LA, the Rams.
No, the Rams. Yeah, I was
McVay.
going to say, even
He's
though
done
it's more
Sean
common
McVay, yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's a
But,
lot
but
more
McVay
common
hasn't
now.
won a Super Bowl though.
Yeah, but he's done a good job as a young coach.
But he
He's
got
done a
out
good
coached in
job.
the Super Bowl.
Well, again, he's done a good job. So let's see.
So
McDaniel.
Brandon, is McDaniels waiting for the Pats job?
He could be. He could be
That
waiting.
would make more sense to me.
That would make more sense. He just waits until Bill Belichick retires. Bill Belichick is already to go to coaching, right? So.
I mean, so Bodine, is that true what Justin said? That beer is free down in the Jag Stadium?
Oh, I wouldn't know that, but I don't
No
think
way.
so. No,
They
it's
gotta make
probably
money.
$20 a cup or a
Yeah,
can or
beer's
whatever.
the biggest
Are you
money
kidding me?
maker.
That's the biggest money maker. And listen, have you ever sat in a football stadium between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Florida? Are you
It's
kidding
hot.
me with the sun? Oh no, that beer ain't free. No way.
I was
That
going to
beer
say,
ain't free.
if it is, I'm booking my ticket now.
Yeah, right.
No, that beer ain't
Talk
free.
about perks.
Yeah. So that's where you are now, right, Justin? How's the Florida weather? Bodine, I'm sure, is jealous.
It's good.
Oh,
Good.
no doubt it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rained here last night. Y'all got snow in New York, didn't you?
I got snow. I did. So we got a couple of inches. So it's nice. It's a little bit of a dusting for Christmas. Not too much, but just enough.
There we go.
It'll
did
be
you
a
hear
nice
about,
balmy
that Brandon
72
guy?
degrees on
Talk-
Saturday.
Like,
What? Say that again?
did you hear about
I-
that Brandon guy in NASCAR saying it wasn't his fault or something?
Who?
He came out in his first interview before that phenomenon hit. Like,
Oh,
the,
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's talking about NASCAR.
Yeah, I know
Nah.
that, but what?
Who is it, Justin?
Brandon, he won his first NASCAR race, and then the Let's Go Brandon thing happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
he didn't know what Let's Go Brandon. He didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't. So
Well-
Kelvin's chiming in. Welcome to the show, Kelvin. Hop on camera if you'd like. We'd love to have you on. The links in the first comment in the comment section saying, but except Trevor Lawrence, what else do the Jaguars have? Is that a coaching job someone really wants?
Well, that's
running
exactly
back's
what
good.
we were talking about. The only other, well, I mean, they have players, obviously. And, CJ Spiller, who they also drafted with Trevor Lawrence this year, he got hurt in preseason. So he never saw the field.
That's right.
So that's something that they'll have to look forward to moving forward. But other than that, I mean, they don't have a lot. So there's a lot they're going to have to do through the draft in order to get better. And we're talking offensive line is where they're really going to need to start. And then some guys on the outside, some hands guys.
Yep.
Well, here's the question.
Offensive
The
line.
question is the general manager going to retain his job? And if he doesn't, then you get a new general manager. And probably the right thing to do is to bring in a new general manager and allow that general manager to build his or her team. Chances are it's going to be a guy. And the guy that I would consider is the guy from ESPN who does the Monday night games.
Brian Greasy?
No,
the other guy.
Oh, Louis Riddick, yeah.
Louis
Riddick. He's been a GM. He's been
He's worked in
He
the
played
league
for
office.
Bill Belichick.
league offices. Yeah.
He's played for a lot of people. So he's been around and he's worked in the front office for a lot of organizations, from Denver to the Eagles to the Patriots. So, yeah, he would be a good choice.
Well, before we get to Brandon's comment, I was going to say, I'm surprised you're not suggesting Eli and Peyton become the managers. You're such a fan of theirs now. They could be the head coaches down there. They could tag team for you, Bodine.
Well, listen, hold on. I get to introduce my college roommate, the man who's I wrote about in my book, Richard Big Country Lage. Where's the queen of the big country? Is she asleep or she sleep? Okay, so that's why he's being quiet. But Joe, that's and see Ferris, you never met Big Country, so that's Big Country.
We never met.
Yep, that's Big Country tuning in. And,
What's up, man?
He was he was my he was our tight end.
I'm at the in-laws.
Oh, okay. He's on Christmas break, so he's at the in-laws, so he's got to keep it quiet. All right. So Joe, you read the book. You know what that relationship's about. We've been buds for 35, 36 years. And thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it, Big Country. I tried to get I sent Perry Hodge, our other roommate, a text, but I think he's in New York City with the fam. They did a really nice, gorgeous family picture. Did you see that on Facebook? Did you see it? Yeah, that's pretty nice. I think they were at the Rockefeller Center or down in Manhattan or something. So he probably too busy to tune in tonight. But thanks for tuning in, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to answer Brandon's question, yeah, the Jags are definitely well under the cap. And then the other thing that they need to do is they're going to have another top draft pick, if not the number one pick. They don't need a quarterback, so they need to trade that high pick and try to get some more first round picks to get some more legit players. That's really where they need to go.
Well, what's great about the league today is if you get a good general manager, and that general manager and his executives know what they're doing, you can piece together through free agency, right? You can put a defense together. It's easier to put a defense together than it is an offense, right? So you can piecemeal, plug and play defensive players, and they can build a chemistry easier than offense. So if you're telling me they got the quarterback of the future, Trevor Lawrence, the running back who got injured, who's going to be healthy, right? Then let's put this thing together and put a winning team together, and then in 2 to 3 years we'll see what we got, right?
And you have to remember, they're not far off of that AFC Championship game. What was that? 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
4 years ago.
So they're not far removed from that.
Patriots won that one. Yeah. Patriots won that.
Oh, come on now. Game. Okay, thank you, Justin. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Remember, I'm from Jacksonville, Justin. Thank you. Stop rubbing it in.
And Brady played with 4 stitches, like a lot of stitches in his hand.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, I know. Listen, the Patriots are good. Listen, I tell you what. When we get to football, how are we doing on time? We'll get to football soon. But let's talk about what happened the other night. Justin sent me the text as the info as well, and I saw it. The Washington football team had a female actual position coach, like she was in charge because of the COVID outbreak. So she was elevated to be in charge. And what was it, offensive line or defensive line?
I think
I forget what the position was, but not only first female, but first female of color to hold the position of actually a position coach in a regular season NFL game.
Actually, and listen, it's all based on the information. The information I got. She was the second female, first African American, right? But either way, women are breaking through, right? They're proving and showing that they can coach and not just be, assistant to the assistant. They can actually be in charge on game day, right? So, although Washington didn't win, they had an opportunity to win, and they played well, and they were hit with COVID. So what could
they were one of the huge COVID hits.
They have 20 players.
Third string quarterback that they got off the Patriots practice squad 6 days prior.
Yes.
They competed. I mean, they were in that game until, towards the end of the third quarter. the Eagles started to separate themselves.
Joe,
So
Joe, you'll like this story. The quarterback who played for the Washington team last night against the Eagles,
XFL.
he was giving his daughter a bath, his baby girl a bath, and his wife walks into the bathroom and says, "Honey, you got 25 messages on your phone. Something's going on." He checks his messages and they're like, "Dude, where are you? You got traded to Washington. They need a starting quarterback."
Oh
So
my gosh.
that's how he found out. He was on the
Yep.
practice squad of the Patriots.
That's amazing.
That's how he got the message that he had to get up, get packed, and fly to Washington to be the starting quarterback for the Washington team.
So I didn't watch that game. How did he do?
he played well.
He played well.
But Jalen Hurts is better.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, Jalen Hurts is a starter. He's supposed to be better.
yeah.
So yeah,
But
I mean,
the kid played well. And he
did.
He was the backup for
Taylor Heinicke
Dallas. Was it 2 years ago or last year when
last year.
what's his name got hurt for the Cowboys? Quarterback got hurt. Broke that ankle. Dak. Yeah. So he's got some playing time. It's not like he's never played. He's never, it's not like he's never taken a snap. But he played well, right? He played well for someone who just, come
Yeah,
on.
that's exciting. That is.
Will there be a Super Bowl played this year
Yes, absolutely.
Of course there will.
because of COVID? Or,
Oh yeah, there will. Because again, we talked about this already. 90 to 95% of all employees in the NFL are vaccinated. So yeah, it's a different scenario than last year. There will be a Super Bowl. If we had a Super Bowl last year without a vaccine, there will be one this year.
Brandon saying he played better than Kirk Cousins. So what could happen, Justin, is, depending upon how the outbreak progresses, they may limit spectators again. I could see that happening because that's a mass event. But I don't expect that. But I don't think that they would ever cancel the game.
No.
Yeah, I just don't think we are ever. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be like it was March 2020 again before they start shutting it down. States have their own protocols, putting their own things in place. It's not a national.
You could do whatever you want in Florida, probably.
Yeah, it's not a national. I don't know what the word is, but
A national
National-
directive.
it's not being dictated nationally. The other thing is, I heard somebody talk about the other day, well, just putting them back in a bubble. And that's not going to be as easy now because everything isn't shut down. It was very easy to put the NBA in a bubble in Orlando because Disney was shut down. Everything was shut down. So you could make that move. That's just not an option these days.
No. And I think the
And
economy.
some players broke protocol last year.
They did. So Isaiah, welcome to the program. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Isaiah. We're on our holiday show. Mr. Sanders is back. I'm not sure if we knew you were gone, but welcome back. I missed the message where you said you were taking off, but we're glad you're back.
I'm missing David. I was looking for my son to pop on here and maybe step up and show his wares, but maybe he tucked his tail between his legs and said, "I'll stay off tonight."
And
I'll have to talk to him about that.
I was just texting with Big Country, and he noticed that I'm wearing the shirt that he and his wife got me a couple of months ago because I sent a book to one of his aunt's family members, and I autographed it. And so they sent me a shirt of thanks. So yes, Big Country, this is the shirt, brother. And I got my Villanova hat on, trying to. Oh, there's David.
There he is. He was.
There he is.
I guess Baby Lily was kind of rambunctious. Looks like he was trying to soothe Baby Lily, my granddaughter. So
And so hop on, David. We'd love to have you on camera. The link's at the top of the chat. And
Let's get into football.
Come on, bro.
Because
Yeah,
well,
come on
hold
in.
on. Before we get into football, let's talk about Steph Curry,
all
the
right.
GOAT, the greatest shooter of all time. That kid, the babyface assassin.
Yeah.
Again, I know we talked about it a little bit, but it should be talked about again. That kid, that young man can shoot the rock without a doubt.
And his
Yeah,
parents
right.
are divorced right now.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
right. We won't talk about that. We talk about
Mhm.
sports. Let's stay in our lane, right? So, I think when is what's the other guy that
Ray Allen.
no the other guy on his team that missed
Klay
2
Thompson.
seasons? Klay Thompson. When
Yep.
Klay Thompson comes back, listen, LA, the Lakers, no shot of winning the title this year, right? There's only maybe 1 or 2 teams that has a real legitimate shot.
Utah and
Phoenix.
Phoenix,
Yeah.
Utah,
Yeah.
the Warriors.
and
Uh,
Bucks.
We'll see. I don't think
And
the
then
Bucks
that's
have the
Kyrie's
I don't-
coming back
Well,
right now.
the Bucks just lost. What's his name? Just went down for the Bucks. I have to look
Giannis?
his name up. I forget.
Middleton.
But he's their number 2 guy.
Middleton, did he say that?
Middleton is out. He just got injured this week.
Yeah.
Um,
And remember, it's tough to repeat because that drive that you have to win the first title usually is not there for the second go around, right? No one wins back to back anymore, right?
Kyrie can win this year probably. He's coming
What-
back.
Were you talking about Brooklyn?
Yeah,
No,
because
if
Kyrie's
he-
back probably.
no, he can't. He's not playing. Come on, Justin, you got to play. He can't.
He's
he
coming
hasn't
back
played-
soon.
yeah, but
where's-
only
but where-
only for away games.
But
Yeah.
but Justin, think about it. He can't play everywhere. He can only play at certain places. He can't even play in his home stadium.
Yeah.
So you got to. It's
And-
all about the chemistry, right?
That's
It's
right.
about
That affects chemistry.
You don't have no basketball. Really, is about chemistry, right? So if you've got no chemistry, you ain't gonna win. Nah. Until he plays every single day, they have no shot. I'm not counting him. I'll count the Sixers in before I count Brooklyn.
Ben Simmons might get traded soon.
He needs to get traded. He ain't playing.
Big Country saying the Suns. Brandon saying Wolves bring the title home.
Oh Lord. Sorry, Brandon. You'll be waiting a while, Brandon. Don't be standing out there in that snow in Minnesota.
I fully expect to see the Warriors and the Suns in the NBA. Oh, well, I'm sorry, in the
Conference
Western
title.
Conference Final.
Yes.
I definitely expect, unless something
I
out
see
of
the
the
Celtics in the
ordinary
finals,
happens,
probably.
there's some kind of injury or something like that. You know, the Suns are playing just as well as they did last year, and I think for them coming off the loss to the Bucks last year, which
They're
I think
motivated.
everybody thought they were going to win that series.
Yep.
They've got a lot to prove.
That's right. Until Giannis took over. But like I said, I'm not counting the Bucks in. Justin, I did hear you. He said
I heard you.
He said the Boston Celtics. So I see Boston Celtics, Philly, maybe playing in the championship Eastern Conference to get to the championship. And I agree with you.
Don't forget how the Bulls are playing. Right now, the Bulls.
I don't trust Lonzo Ball. His dad.
Well, I think it's time to start trusting him because he's showing night in and night out what kind of player he is. The chemistry on that team is very high right now. They're beating everybody, and
Michael,
it's not a fluke. It's not like they're winning a game here, winning a game there. It doesn't matter who steps on that floor. They're winning, so they're legit.
Michael Wilbon is all over the Chicago Bulls. He thinks that they're doing pretty well. In other words, I think it's a toss up in the East, but in the West, it's Warriors, Utah, or
Well, did
The
you
Suns.
hear
Warrior
about Kevin
Suns in
Durant
my
making
book.
fun of a 13-year-old?
what?
He made fun of like an 8th grader, Kevin Durant.
Oh, don't worry about
Yeah.
that. Don't worry about that. We're staying in our lane. We're talking about good stuff tonight. Okay.
So, yeah, Brandon saying, Bo, so I shouldn't block a seat for the Wolves parade route through down, going through downtown.
Not this.
This
Not unless you got a snowblower. No, not this year. No, not this year. Sorry, Brandon.
So that's funny. All right, we better get into football. It's 10:41.
Yes, let's do it.
You know, COVID certainly is making its impact. What'd you think? Tom Brady had my guy in my new team. He threw a big tantrum this week. You know, he wasn't a happy guy. But yeah, so
He threw
I
up
like
a goose egg.
Yeah,
They throw up a goose egg and they lose some really important players.
Yeah,
They
got
lost
problems.
Godwin, they lost Fournette, and they
Le'Veon
lost
Bell's
one
back.
other. They lost one other player.
Ante David. That's a huge loss.
Did they
for the
lose
rest of the
David on
season.
the defense?
Yeah, they lost him.
Wow. I mean, so it was a bad day for
They
the
got
Bucks
problems.
on
They got
Sunday. They now have some real issues. That AB obviously is coming back, but he is not going to
Yeah,
be
Bruce
able
Arians
to.
doesn't like AB.
Yeah, he's fine with AB. That's why he's coming back.
Yep.
If he had the opportunity to let him go,
And he didn't. Right?
and he didn't, and he said that he actually likes the progression that he's shown from him. Obviously, he made that mistake with the COVID card, but he still likes what he's seen from him. But
they re-signed
he's
Bell.
not going to be able to make up for all three of those offensive weapons by himself.
And they re-signed Le'Veon Bell. They signed Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, but he's not Fournette.
Yeah, he's serviceable.
He said he was
but
going to fight for a boxing match.
Well, he's serviceable because he's a former, All-Pro. But
He was going at it with Jake Paul on Twitter the other day.
That's all right. Let's see what happens when he puts the pads on, and can he pick up the offense? But it's easy for a running back. Easier for a running back to go from one team to the next in the same season, because it's pretty much you're running inside the tackles or you're running outside the tackles, right? So it's a little bit easier, right? And you got Tom Brady to tell him exactly where to go. And he's never been a running back. He's never been a running back to run exactly where the hole is. What's up, David?
Look at that younger Farris over there. What's up, man?
I feel like an idiot. I was trying to figure out how to get my webcam to work. Apparently, my laptop has a feature where I can slide this little thing and it blocks out my camera.
Well, guess what, David? Like father, like son. Ferris had the same issues when we first had him on.
Anytime
So
it's
it's
last
all right,
minute
brother.
for me, it's gone bad, right? So last week I popped on last minute and it went bad.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Hold on. Do I see you got some lights on your head?
I have Bria's cat ear headphones on. So
those are headphones.
They're headphones and those are cat ears. And the lights flash when you guys talk. It goes with the audio. So
wow, check that out. He's bringing the wood tonight. He's bringing the A game tonight. Look at that.
You guys started talking about the Buccaneers, and I started panicking, trying to figure out how to get this thing to work.
So what do you think about the Bucks with all those injuries, David?
We're in trouble. Yeah. We're in trouble. Those are Chris Godwin had 100 receptions and he's gone. And Levante David, our best player on defense, he's gone. Leonard Fournette gone for the rest of this regular season. Hopefully he can come back.
Not with that hamstring, David. You know hamstrings. Once your
true.
hamstring goes, you're done.
And that's the other thing. Mike Evans got taken out of that game at halftime because of a hamstring. So
Yeah, it was Evans. Yeah.
I mean, that's our star receivers, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, gone. Leonard Fournette, our number one running back, gone. Levante David, our best defensive player, gone. So that's,
And then you could see, and you know, we were watching. We weren't watching it together, but you could see in the game how much they had to start to try to rely on Gronk, and you know, he's just not in that place anymore. He's much older. You know what I mean? He can't play that many snaps in a row and be the number one guy. You could see that in the game on Sunday.
Let's see how Tom can figure out how to navigate these. If he can navigate this, right, he's got to get the other tight end involved, right? Because they have another tight end. If anything, don't they have two other tight ends that are
OJ Howard?
we have
right?
OJ Howard and Cameron Brate. So
There you go. So you've got to figure this out, man. You've got two other tight ends.
You got
AB's
Antonio Brown coming back.
AB coming back, and a running back's the running back, right? So whoever the running back is, that's what it is, right? That as long as they can run between the tackles and run outside the tackles, that's fine, right? So if Tom Brady can pull this off and get into the playoffs with these injuries and then win at least one game in the playoffs, come on. He deserves all the respect in the world, because what he just got hit with, you can't recover from that. Right?
That's
What do
a
you think,
lot.
David?
The good thing for the Bucks is they've got the division locked down, so they're going to make the playoffs. That's a non-issue. It's just
Right.
going to be what they are when they get there.
Right.
So I mean, and the other thing to remember is the Buccaneers just don't know how to play the Saints in the regular season. They're 0 since Tom Brady got there, they're 0-4 against the Saints. They just, whatever happens when they play the Saints, they just can't. They can't.
Listen,
In the playoffs, they're good.
in the playoffs they beat them, but sometimes somebody just has your number, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the matchups. But the Saints won't be making the playoffs this year, so they don't have to worry about it.
They shouldn't. That's
I don't see it happening.
Even
The
though I think
Packers
they
that
are
maybe
the
are-
Super Bowl this year, probably.
Well, they definitely can, because you know, the Vikings hold the 7th spot with a 7-7 record.
But the
The
Packers
Saints are
always
now
show
7-7 with
in
that
the
win this
playoffs.
weekend. And the Eagles are 7-7. So, and the Saints have the Dolphins this week. The Vikings have the Rams. Eagles have the Giants. So they have a shot.
Ferris, I'll bet you a cheesesteak.
Eagles
Next-
make the playoffs.
The next time you come up, I bet you a cheesesteak of your choice. It could be a chicken cheesesteak or regular cheesesteak, that the Saints lose to Miami this game.
Yeah, Miami's making the playoffs, I think.
Miami's playing well, and the Saints just had a great victory over over Tampa Bay. This is a letdown game.
Yeah, the Saints did beat the
wins.
Patriots, by the way.
Well, so I guess the
this week.
letdown game.
I mean, this
thing-
season they beat the Patriots.
I understand the letdown game, not the game thing, but when you're playing for a playoff spot, you don't have time for a letdown. And both the Dolphins and the Saints are playing for playoff spots. So
Where's the
I
Dolphins
game
will
at?
lose to my Patriots week 17, probably.
Where's the game?
I
at?
don't see them losing.
Hold on, Justin.
Let me
Hold on.
see. I'll tell you. It is.
In Miami.
It's in Miami.
Yeah, it's always in Miami at the end of the year against the Patriots.
Where are they?
No. I'm talking about the Tampa Bay, the next game, Saints versus Miami. I don't have my paper.
They're
in front of
playing
me.
in
Where's
New
that game?
Orleans. They're playing in.
It's in New Orleans. Okay,
Yeah.
so what is that? A 1 or 2 point, 3 point advantage to the home team?
Saints
right?
are fit. Someone's
I'll give them
Lions?
7-point favorites, probably.
Okay, so
3.
3 points. Yeah. So
Why don't I see it?
so-
Oh, there it is. It's Monday night game. I'm sorry. So yeah,
Okay.
they're in New Orleans.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you right now, the Saints are good at home on Monday night.
that's true.
So
Interesting game.
yeah, very big game.
But Roll Tide in that game too. Tua.
Well, Isaiah's wondering if we were 49ers fans, who would we want San Francisco to play in the wild card?
Niners would want to play the Packers because they always choke in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think
Because
the
the
Niners
Packers
want to
always
play
choke
the
in
Packers.
playoff games. In Aaron Rodgers' career, he always chokes in playoff games.
Well, that's
Well,
usually not till the NFC Championship game. So you don't
Right.
want to play Green Bay in any game that's not the NFC Championship. And then even then, you don't want to play him in the NFC Championship, even if he's 1-4.
Yeah,
So
because he's a bad man.
But he chokes
Right.
in playoff games.
That's all right. He's got something to prove this year. So
In the COVID toll.
He's got a lot to prove.
I don't think
COVID
anybody
zone.
wants to go. I don't think anybody wants to go to Green Bay in January or February, the beginning of February.
No.
to play a
The
football.
Cowboys
The-
might get the 1 seed probably.
the
No,
only
that ain't happening.
the only team I can see the Niners wanting to play against that would end up in the top 4 because they're going to be in the 6 or 7 spot. So they're going to play a team that's 2 or 3 or 4. So I would see the only team they would want to play is Arizona. I don't think they want to play Tampa or Dallas or Green Bay unless Tampa has all the injuries they have right now.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah, and Arizona has not been playing well these last
They
2
lost to the
weeks
Lions.
either. So
Yep, that's a bad loss, Justin. You
Yeah,
lose to the
you're right.
Lions. And listen,
The Jags are 1 seed right now.
listen. They're
The Jags
they're
are
all-
the first seed right now.
That's all right. They're all grown men, regardless of the record. First, guys have pride, right?
Yep.
So you can't sleep on a team that's only won 1, 2, or 3 games. You better bring your A game because you can get beat. And the perfect example was the other night. So
Jags are going to get the number 1 pick though.
yeah, no doubt, absolutely. Yep.
Right, so let's start breaking down the other games. What do you think?
Patriots,
what-
Bills.
What's on tomorrow night?
so we have tomorrow night we have Niners Titans.
Oh,
In
Titans are going to
Tennessee.
lose
Big game in Tennessee.
That's a big game.
because Ryan Tannehill always chokes without Derrick Henry.
I actually believe the Titans should win that game.
Oh,
Because
really?
Jimmy
Okay.
G's the best.
Jimmy G's the what?
He's the best former Patriot quarterback right now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I would go with the Titans at home in this game.
The Titans
I
need
think
this
the
game.
Titans have shown, even without Derrick Henry, that they're going to be in any game they play, unless they just don't show up.
Yeah, even
They
last,
have that pride.
Even
They
last
lost to
week,
Mike Tomlin.
even last week when they were that was a fluky loss for the Titans. That was the fumbles, that was just fluky. They had no business losing that game. Sometimes that happens. And
Yeah. And coming off the loss this week, you can expect them to play very well. So I'd go Titans. Then we've got our Christmas Day games. Big game for the Browns at the Packers.
I got the Browns. Baker Mayfield's back. Give me him. If he's back, I'll get him. Baker
No.
Mayfield.
Nope.
I'm going with the Packers. For sure.
I don't know
No.
I don't know how you choose the Browns. Like
They're
Baker
done.
Mayfield's a baller.
No, but they're done, Justin. They're done. They're
They
They
done.
can still make the playoffs, probably.
No.
They
they're done.
with the loss to the Raiders the other night, their playoff
done.
hopes are pretty dim.
They're done.
That was a unique situation. If they had won the game, they're at the top of the division. They lost the game, now they're at the bottom of the division. That's how tight that division is. So they obviously have something to play for. And for me, I'll just go Cowboys. I need the Packers to lose. So
Listen,
I'm not
listen.
going to sit here and say the Browns are going to win, but I'll be rooting hard for them to win this game. Because if they do win this game, then that brings the Packers to that same 4-loss scenario that the Cardinals, Cowboys, and Rams are at. So that's for home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't see that happening because they had how many players on a COVID protocol?
The
25.
coach, too.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't see them winning. Nope. Next game.
Saturday night, Colts Cardinals, another big game.
That-
Colts are hot,
They're
and the
hot.
Cardinals are not hot.
Yep.
So, and it's in Phoenix, it's in Arizona. Interesting win the other day for the Colts. They won the game solely on the running game because Carson Wentz was 5 for 12 in the passing game. 5 for 12 for what, David? 78 yards, something like that? Wasn't
Yeah.
that the number?
Yeah,
5 for
it was
12 for
something.
78 yards, which shows how much they do not trust him, even though they went out and got him. So very big game there, Colts at Cardinals.
That's
No.
gonna be a very good game. I think it's gonna be an amazing game. But fun fact about Arizona: when they're playing at home, they're 3-3. When they're
Mhm.
away, they're
Mhm.
7-1. So,
Yeah, they were undefeated until this past weekend
yeah.
away.
Well,
I think when it comes to Carson Wentz, the head coach Frank Wright, he understands and has a great relationship with him because he coached here in Philadelphia, right? He was his coach, quarterback's coach here, and I think he understands and they have a good enough relationship where he says, "Listen, we're going to take what the defense gives us, so we're not going to force the ball anywhere because we got a great running back, right? So they can run the ball, and Carson Wentz is not the kind of guy who's going to complain about throwing the ball 12 to 15 times and only getting 87 yards, right? So I think they have that kind of relationship. And listen, when you can run the ball and get over 200 yards rushing in 3 or 4 games in a row, you
Yep.
don't stop. You don't stop that. You keep
No.
it moving, right?
No, I agree. I agree with you. This game could be even bigger if the Titans lose. If the Titans lose, then the Colts are playing for first place in the division, and they jump out of that wild card spot into probably the 3 spot in the playoffs. So very, very big game between tomorrow night's game and Saturday night's game with the Titans and the Colts tomorrow night.
Yep. Run it down their throats.
Yeah.
yeah, but we have to keep in mind too, anything could be an upheaval at any moment if any team gets a COVID outbreak. So
That's
it could
true.
change
Sure.
the whole landscape of everything.
Yeah,
That's
It'll
true.
absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
All right, first big game on Sunday. Rams Vikings. Vikings 7-7 still have a shot. They are right now. They are number 7. They're the 7 spot in the wild card race, so they need to win to keep that spot. And the Rams obviously are playing for that division with the Cardinals. They're now even at 10-4. So another big game in the playoff picture.
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Where's Brandon at?
Brandon and I are going with the Vikings. I'll speak for him.
My heart
Yeah.
my heart goes with the Vikings. I'm rooting for the Vikings. So I like Kirk Cousins. So
I don't.
I'm rooting for Sony Michel, former Patriot.
I think the Rams go in and win that game.
Uh,
They really need it.
Yep.
Sony Michel
All
will
right,
win that
Justin.
game for the Rams.
All right, Justin, here's your game. Bills at Patriots.
Oh, that's
Another
a game
huge
right
Patriots
there.
gonna win
that's
That's a
with
huge
Mac Jones
game.
throwing the ball.
That's a huge
Mhm.
game. Where's that game at?
It's in
Gillette
New England.
Stadium.
I'm going to
Where?
go with the
Gillette Stadium.
Patriots. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots on it. I
It's
don't know,
in
the
New
Bills-
England.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mac Jones game-winning
I'll
touchdown.
be interested to see what the weather is. I think the weather will have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, Sean
Um,
McDermott's gonna cry about it. Probably the weather again.
I
I
think the Patriots showed last week that, obviously they're a good team, but they're still young. Mac Jones is still young. He's played well, but he's still a rookie.
Yeah, he got ripped
Um,
by the media this week, I think, by the
Well-
Boston sports media.
Yeah, well, I mean that's he's a rookie. That's over expectation. Him getting ripped by the media in his rookie year like that's over expectation. He's going to have games like that. I'm going with the Bills.
All right.
I'm going with Buffalo also, and I say Buffalo is and it's not all about what's on paper, but Buffalo is a better team on paper, and I just think they're a better team in general. I think what they have to get over is I think they have a mental block when they play New England. Pretty much every team in that division, even without Tom Brady, they just have, and that's a real thing in anything, in any kind of competitive atmosphere, are mental blocks, and they just have to get over that hump. They are the better team. They have to believe it when they get there on Sunday, and
They're going to have to believe it, and they're going to have to be physical.
yeah,
And that's the thing that they haven't been. If they're not going to be physical, they're not going to win the game. So I'll be
The Bills
interested to see.
franchise has always been losers. 4 straight Super Bowl losses.
It's part of the Bill Belichick mystique. You've got to beat the other team, smack them in the mouth, right, in order to overcome, David, what you're talking about. That mental block is because of Bill Belichick, right?
Mhm.
If you as a team truly feel you're not 100% prepared, you've lost, because going into the game versus Bill, they are prepared, right?
Yeah.
So in order to overcome that, you have to physically beat that other team, beat Bill Belichick's team, offense, defense, special teams, beat them down.
And that's a credit to Bill Belichick and the culture he created, because
Absolutely.
their team is going to go in there believing. Like,
Absolutely.
the Patriots know, they
Yep.
believe, and that's
Yep.
a credit to Bill Belichick and what
It's
he's
an
created.
intimidation factor.
It's
right?
exactly what it is. It's
Yes.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Another division deciding game. Ravens
Nice hat.
at the Bengals.
Nice hat, Joe.
Yeah, now I'm nice. I was naughty, but we're getting.
Is that
the
number
end.
6?
I have to be nice.
Is that number 6 for the night?
It might be. I think is that my fourth hat? I think that's my fourth hat.
Hey, let me say a shout out to the queen of the big country. I just found out she was watching. So that's Big Country's wife, Sarah. I call her the queen of the big country because she is the queen. Go ahead, Sarah.
Country music.
Ravens at the Bengals.
What a weird division.
This is for
Well,
first. Yeah, well, yeah.
It is. I totally
It
agree,
is.
David. It is.
I
What are
don't
they
even
all
know.
one game away from any one team taking over?
Yeah,
Based on
and
who
I
wins?
don't know what to think of that division. Every week you try to say one team is the best one, and then they show why they're not. Like, it's
Yeah.
they all have these just where they just lay eggs. Like, they'll have a week where they just lay eggs against bad teams, and they'll have a week where they dominate a team they shouldn't be dominating. So the only team I know for a fact is in that division that isn't doing anything are the Steelers. That's it. But
Yeah, but every time
Lamar
you
Jackson's
think
injured.
that, David, the Steelers come and win a game that you don't expect them to win.
Yeah.
They did it this past weekend. So, they're within a half game of both Ravens and the Bengals. The Ravens and the Bengals are 8-6, and the Steelers are 7-6-1. And that's the next big game for next week. The Steelers have to go to Kansas City, very hot Kansas City. And
Kansas City has COVID issues, though. A lot of COVID issues.
They do?
Yeah. Travis Kelce, I think. And Tyreek Hill, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Tyreek
COVID.
Hill I heard about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that division can totally flip this weekend very quickly. So I'm going to take the Bengals at home because, well, let me say this: if Lamar, I guess it depends if Lamar Jackson plays. So if Lamar Jackson plays, I take that back. If Jackson plays, I'm going to go with the Ravens. If he doesn't play, I'm going with the Bengals.
I'm actually going to pick the Ravens regardless of who plays QB, because I watched when they played Green Bay this past week.
Yeah, Hundley played well.
I was impressed. And the Ravens are a team that, regardless of if Lamar Jackson's playing or not, they're another team that they're just going to show up, and they're going to compete. and they're another team that has bullied that division for a little while now. And the Bengals have kind of been in the gutter for a little while. So I'm going to go with the Ravens.
I like the Ravens too.
Well, listen, the bottom line is all these games is a day-to-day issue based on COVID, right?
Yeah, Joe Burrow said there's nothing to do in Cincinnati, so they're having nothing to do in COVID protocols because there's
Right.
nothing to do in Cincinnati
Right. In other words, the players aren't going out at night. They're not
because it's not
putting
nightlife in
themselves-
Cincinnati. Yeah.
Right. They're not putting themselves in bad situations. That may be true. Or they just may have discipline enough to stay at home and not put themselves, because it's all about discipline, right? This is part of the foundation of sports. Do you have discipline, right? Or what's the chemistry like in the team amongst the players, right? All these things count. And so if they are disciplined enough not to go out and not put themselves in jeopardy, then they're going to be healthier and give themselves a chance to compete. That's part of it.
Who you got, Bo?
Give me Joe Burrow.
I got,
You got the Bengals, Justin?
as much as I like,
Because Joe Burrow said there's no party life. Yeah.
listen, as much as I like the Ravens because they're right down the road, and I like Harbaugh as a coach who used to
I don't
be
like
the
Harbaugh.
special teams coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, I really do like Cincinnati because they have
Joe
a
Burrow. Yeah.
boatload of talent and they can play well. So I'm gonna go with Cincinnati in this one.
Jamar Chase, rookie of the year.
Maybe
All right,
the first half of the season.
Yeah.
So that takes us to Steelers Chiefs 425 game.
I take the Chiefs.
Steelers, because Chiefs have COVID issues.
If Mahomes is playing, I'm taking the Chiefs.
I think
Yeah.
even with the Chiefs' COVID issues, the way their defense has stepped up over the last 5 weeks, and as pedestrian as the Steelers' offense is, I think even with the COVID issues, I'm going with Kansas City at home. Tough place to play and a tough place to win.
Honey Badger has that defense playing really well, right? Because those guys respect him. He's a vet. He played for LSU. He's always been the player, and guys, again, it's about respect, right? It's about chemistry, and he's the leader of that defense. So,
Hey, David.
Yep.
You'd be proud of me. I went outside my box tonight and I got a hurricane instead
Oh,
of a
wow. Wow. Isn't it good? Doesn't it feel
Yeah, it
good?
is. I may even have a little buzz.
I think I saw earlier. I didn't say anything, but earlier when I first got on, I saw you had what you're drinking. You were like shaking it in your hand, and you're like, I could tell. I'm gonna go with KC, even though I don't want KC to win. I just they're probably gonna win because I don't think it has anything to do with Patrick Mahomes. It's gonna have to do with their defense. I mean, even after the first half of the season, the past 6 games they're in the winning streak, their offense still has looked, like my dad said, pedestrian. So I'm gonna go with KC though, because they just have no business losing this game. So
Kelvin was just going to ask you, Adrian, what's in that mug? So we answered that question. And Isaiah is asking us a question, a little bit off topic, but prime rib, turkey, or ham, what do we all prefer for the main entree on the Christmas dinner table?
Well, in the Farris household, it is a prime rib roast this year.
Bodine
No
is
turkey, no
having
ham.
Bodine is having boiled peanuts. I know that. That's what's happening.
Oh, it's definitely ham, pork, no question about it. Smoked neck bones this weekend, absolutely.
No, I'm gonna go with the turkey. I like the prime rib too, but I'm going with turkey. I like that. I like the sides more than the meat.
oh
Great
yeah.
question, Isaiah. Great question.
All right, so the other game, AFC West, Broncos Raiders, both 7-7, fighting
We're going
for
overtime.
wild card spots.
Tough one. I don't know.
It depends if the quarterback. He's probably not going to play this weekend, right?
Oh, that's true. I doubt Teddy plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bridgewater's out, I believe. So
Yeah.
I'd go with the Raiders here.
Yep. Because
they're
came
at
off
home.
that- yeah, and they
Carl
came off,
Nassib's going to win.
they came off that really good win. So yeah, I'm going with the Raiders.
Carl Nassib, yeah.
I agree.
Nassib is playing pretty well. Yep, he's doing really well.
Yeah, I'm going Raiders.
Yep.
Sunday night, Washington at the Cowboys.
Oh,
I
Lord.
think Washington with the loss. Washington with the loss this past week. Their playoff picture's done in my book. So, and they probably had the most COVID issues this week, other than the Browns.
Listen, I'd be better off going to see the Spider-Man movie than watch the Washington versus Dallas game. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, the Spider-Man movie was good. All right.
Don't spoil it. I still want to see it, Justin. But yeah, it was good. My son saw it too. I'm going with the Cowboys for sure.
I don't care who
I'm
wins.
going with the Cowboys too.
I don't care who wins.
We're all on the Cowboys. Okay, here we go. We're all on the Cowboys.
I think there's one more really important game, but it's important for one team in that game, and that's the Eagles playing the Giants. And
Giants, they're going to fire Joe Judge after the game, probably.
the Eagles should easily win that game. But
It's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
exactly, it's a
Jacob
division
Fromm's
game.
playing.
It's a division game, and they need to win that game in order if they want to make the playoffs. So,
And I should know this, David, but is that game here or in New York?
it's in Philly, I think. Yep, it's in
Okay.
Philly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
We should win that.
And
game.
that's a big game for the Eagles because they are sitting in the A spot right now behind the Vikings.
Mhm.
So how it plays out, Rams-Vikings game, Eagles win that game. If the Vikings lose, Eagles win, then the Eagles move into that 7 spot.
Absolutely. That's how it plays out.
And then finally, with the one we talked about earlier, Dolphins Saints on Monday night. And
Sure.
I have to go with the Saints at home here on a Monday night game.
Roll Tide.
I'm going with Miami.
I'm going
Roll
Miami
Tide.
too.
Roll Tide.
Joe?
I'm going with Miami.
I just
All right, I'm out on
the Saints just look, except whenever they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Saints just look like an awful football team.
Yep.
I don't know. They play the Bucks, and all of a sudden, it's their Super Bowl. But any other game,
Yep.
that's
All about the matchups.
All right, we'll see. What about you, Justin? Who are you thinking?
Oh, he's got Miami. He's because Tua.
Roll Tide.
Roll
Tua.
Tide.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, hold up. You're an Alabama fan. You're a New England fan. Are you like, are you a LeBron
Yeah, I said this
fan?
a couple weeks ago.
No, I
He's
don't like
just
LeBron.
Are you a Lakers fan? What are you in basketball?
Celtics fan. all
Celtics. That
Boston.
would have been my other guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he lives.
I'm not
in
Flight
the,
Reacts.
He lives in the New England area.
Oh,
he's
so you're also a
definitely-
Red Sox fan.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
poor guy.
They won more championships than the Yankees in the decade.
No, 27. Can you count to 27?
No, in the decade. I said.
Can you count to 20? I'm not
In the
worried
dec-
about the
in the
decade.
decade.
I'm worried about as a whole. 27 to your what? 6?
No, in the decade. This decade, you only
No,
have
I'm not
one
worried about the
title
decade.
in the
I'm
decade.
talking about all of them.
Oh no.
27.
You only have one title.
Just
in the
say
decade.
Justin.
Here,
Just say
gentlemen, holiday
27,
cheer.
Justin.
Yankees.
The
Red
Yankees
Sox.
haven't won in a long time.
It doesn't matter. Just say 27.
I'm cursing your Yankees, man. They're never going to
You
win another
probably
title
can't
ever
say
again.
27.
The best team in New York's New York FC. They won the title. That's the only title New York has this year. New York FC.
That's fine. That's fine.
In soccer, New York's a soccer team. That's how bad New York is.
Kelvin saying, "Stop
Oh
it!
my
Just
God.
stop it!"
Boston
There you go,
and New
Calvin.
York.
Back me up, Zane. Back me up.
New York has no good teams. Only New York FC. That's the only team that's good in New York.
All
All
right.
right,
And they play at New York Stadium.
Justin,
All right.
you forget where I live, so you better be careful here.
Simmer down. Simmer down. All right,
What
listen.
if New York is?
So what else do we have? Nothing else?
I think
That's
it.
the end of that schedule.
All
Yep,
right.
That's this week's schedule.
All right, so what do you think? Let's throw some closing thoughts to our special guest. We'll start with
Oh.
you, Justin. What are some closing thoughts? What do you think of the show? Thanks so much
It was a good show, and
for
yeah,
hopping on.
that's it. It was lots of Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
Thank you, Justin. We appreciate all of your help and your background research and your knowledge. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Dave, and then David, thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure. You gave us some props of your own. Love the headphones. I thought they were reindeer antlers at first, but no, they're cats.
That is
Okay.
so awesome. That is
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah, I'm a gamer, so I got some weird, quirky things over here. So thank you for having me, and I love the show. I'll be tuning in every week from here on out. My closing comments, I guess. I don't know. Did you guys talk about this last week with the fake QB dive, the fake QB slide, and
No.
We
No.
did
okay,
not.
we'll save that for another week. Actually, my closing comments is this. It's gonna be a little bitter.
Uh-oh.
I hate the Saints. I've been saying it for years. I absolutely hate the New Orleans Saints. I think they're a despicable organization. I don't like their players. I don't like their personalities or their attitudes. I don't like their head coach. And then Sunday just reaffirmed all of that for me as I watched PJ Williams crouch all the way to the ground on a defenseless wide receiver, stare at his knees, and then throw all of his body weight into his knees. And just ruin his season, and then try to do the same thing to Gronk 2 quarters later. So
Yeah, I did see that.
my closing statement is keep it PG. I hate the Saints. That's it.
Well, Kelvin is saying, great show, guys. I wish I could come on, Joe, but I'm working. So, Kelvin, we have an open invitation whenever you're not working. The next time you're free, just let us know and you can hop on as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kelvin's a night shift guy, so unless he's off, we'll never be able to get Kelvin on. But appreciate you coming on, Kelvin. No doubt, bro.
And then, hey,
Merry
all right,
Christmas.
closing thoughts, Adrian.
Well, I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend, with family, enjoying themselves, eat well, watch a little football, watch a little basketball, and looking forward to bringing in that new year next week.
Yeah, right around the corner.
All right, thank you, Kelvin. Merry Christmas to you, too. All right, now my main man, Bodine.
Listen, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We look forward to seeing everybody next week. Enjoy yourself. And we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, Big Country and the Queen of the Big Country, my dad, and everyone, David, and everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, great. And I want to thank Brandon, Isaiah, Kelvin, everybody who tuned in, Mr. Sanders, of course, David's on. So it was a great show. And of course, I always have to thank our main man behind the scenes, Chris P. Bacon. So happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you too. But the holidays aren't over, everybody. We're gearing up. We got the New Year's show next week. What are we going to do for that? It's going to be hard to top this. We can talk about, certainly the highlights of this year and meeting all of you gentlemen. That's certainly one of the highlights of my year. So let's start thinking about that. We'll bring in the new year, a fresh start, and enjoy this weekend. It's the last one of the year, right? It's the last one of this year. So let's live it up and enjoy, just like Bodine said, or Adrian said, let's enjoy our families, our friends. And for those people who may not have family and friends, we're thinking here in our thoughts as well. And, reach out to one of us. We'd be happy to talk to you and help you get through any difficult times you're having on the holiday.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, so
2021 highlights sounds good for next week.
yeah, I think that'd be fun. We'll have 2021 highlights, and we can invite people on again too. We'll see how it goes. We'll pre-game this week and see what we want to do. We'll brainstorm. So thanks everybody. Merry Christmas. Whatever holiday you're celebrating, enjoy it. And Chris, you can play us out.